People wake up on a normal day and suddenly something happens that changes their lives completely.
Paediatric trauma call, 15 minutes.
A lot of really bad things happen to really good people, but you never think it's going to happen to you.
Stabbed 5 times, including chest, and he's got an arterial bleed from his leg.
High-speed RTC moped into a wall.
Jesus Christ, what happened? You all right?
I love my wife.
Any reception, can I help you? Yeah, 24 hours, 7 days a week. I love that question. What's your opening hours?
St George's, London, one of the busiest and most advanced A&E departments in the world.
Complete baloney amputation of her leg.
I can't breathe.
He looks frail, doesn't he? He looks like somebody who's going to break.
I think it's going to be one of those days.
A place where life...
Darling, what's for dinner?
love...
It's still as beautiful as ever.
We have a boy.
and loss
Don't make me cry.
unfold every single day.
And they said there's nothing they can do.
All the patients you're about to see were treated in just one 24-hour period.
You don't know how lucky I am to be talking to you right now.
We see situations where someone's life has just been turned upside down. People always try and remember what the last conversation was, or the last words that that person said to them. And I suppose it's so much nicer if the words that they remember are, "I love you."
So we're not going straight to CT, we're going to do it here.
Okay.
Okay, we're not going straight to CT, we're going to run it in 5.
Right, I'm going to leave you to this. George's.
It's the start of the first shift, and the resus area of St George's A&E is already full.
And put a code red out, PEDS code red.
I'm in charge, but I am extremely busy, so if there's anything that you can do... Sometimes to choose between some of these patients who needs to be seen first is really, really difficult. But when you're talking about a life and death situation, it has to be done quickly. That's what my job is. Motorcycle driver hit by van, pelvic, spinal, neck, back and groin pain.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's cool.
10 minutes for that one.
So if we
You've got 30 minutes for the PEDS one.
Yeah.
Emergency care nurse Sally has worked in A&E for 3 years.
I love not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing what my day is going to be. No, this one is not anything to do with it, but that is the rear view passenger. Could I get a job for more money, for less hours? Absolutely. Do I want to do that? No. The thicker ones, 22F.
As well as coordinating resus, today Sally's also looking after 2 student nurses.
Yeah, don't let the buzzing and all of this overwhelm you. I love having students. I love to break things down that are quite complicated, that took me years to understand, to really simplify them and to watch the light bulb go on. It's one of the best things about the job. You probably are going to see traumas and cardiac arrests, but there's such a strong team of support that it'll be a really good place to do it.
Everybody on your team needs to be leaded and ready.
I remember working in A&E as a student nurse, and I remember saying it's like Beirut. It's like a war zone, and it was terrifying.
Complaint of pain, C1, possibly in C7 in his neck. He's at 3 millimeters.
I hope I never forget that, because I think that's a really important part of being a qualified nurse, is teaching them how to cope. Hello, St George's. Hello, could you activate the helipad response team, please?
27-year-old tree surgeon is being airlifted to St George's after falling 40 feet from a tree.
Hit several branches on the way down, unconscious for 10 minutes. So do you want to prepare for it to go straight to CT?
Yes.
Having fallen face first onto concrete from the equivalent of a 4-story building, the team urgently need to assess for any internal injuries.
Certain things trigger a major trauma call. 20 feet triggers a major trauma call. 40 is a long way. Every injury I can imagine that could kill you, you could get from falling 40 foot. Hey guys, are you happy to go straight into CT?
I received a text message from my dad. Howard, Dave's friend that he was working with, has said that he'd had a tumble out of a tree.
40 feet. It's right at the top there.
So when I heard that Dave had been airlifted to hospital, lots of thoughts started sort of going through my mind, I guess sort of selfishly, thinking, am I going to be able to handle this? And going to the hospital on my own and not knowing what condition I'm going to find him in.
So this is David. He's a tree surgeon who was up a tree about 40 feet when his harness gave way and he's had an unrestrained fall straight down, hitting a large branch on the way down. He's had 5 milligrams of morphine and 4 of ondansetron.
I remember leaving my office in Teddington and starting to walk down the street to the station where I was going to get the train. And I was praying, you know, God, please, please, please make sure that he's okay.
No, don't. Please don't. I need a cup of tea and a cherry cake.
I need the rest of my pizza.
I need peace and quiet.
I think we're in a queue now.
So I'm going to be late for school.
You're already late for school, mate.
Yeah.
You think you'll let me put the needle in your hand?
What needle?
Didn't you know? You're gonna get a needle in your hand. They need to take some blood.
Uh-oh.
The 27-year-old tree surgeon David has been rushed to St George's by air ambulance after falling 40 feet from a tree and being knocked unconscious.
When he was born, I was 11. He was adventurous and outgoing even when he was young, when he was small.
He landed on his chest, this guy. So he may have actually got some contusions just from that.
We had the ash tree in our garden, and Dad encouraged us to play. He sort of put a swing on the tree and steps leading up. We would play who could go higher, who would be most daring. And Dave would go a lot higher, right to the top.
Whilst doctors await the results of David's CT scan, they need to carry out further tests.
He's always doing climbing of some type or another. He's travelled all over the world on his own a lot of the time. He likes to live on the edge. He doesn't let his fears control him.
Because you're a bit cold on the outside, it's a bit difficult to take blood from down there, so I'll just do it from up here. We needed to pop another little drip in, so we've done that as well. I'm here in the morning.
In major trauma, one of the most important things is temperature. If you get colder after a major trauma, it can affect your clotting, sort of 24, 48 hours later. If you've got a prolonged clotting, you're more at risk when you go to theatre, you're more at risk with wounds, head injuries, everything.
Can you follow my finger?
You know, you need resus. We're just looking to see what the damage is. He's had a CT. The doctors are with him at the moment, and as yet, we're still running our tests. But I think he'd be quite pleased that his girlfriend's on her way.
So we got an initial read on the scan. There's a crack on the pelvic bone, and there's also a fracture at the top of your neck. It's probably as you've impacted down the way you fell. It'll need to be held, so we'll change your collar for a much more supportive collar. That's the early report. I've seen the images. I can see exactly what they're talking about.
Bethany? Bethany?
Yeah?
I know you're going to get irritated, but please, may I have some more?
What, you, Oliver?
Yeah. Oh, glorious.
Hello, St George's.
A 92-year-old woman is being taken to St George's after being found by her carers with slurred speech and a shaking hand.
There's two come in. There's two new patients come in, so... Who do you want to go out for this?
Go out where?
We've got no beds.
Ah.
The specialist stroke team have been called to resus to examine her.
Nowhere at the moment because I haven't got a bed for them. It is always go, go, go in A&E, but around that person's bedside, they don't necessarily have to know that. They don't necessarily have to know the chaos that's going on.
Is it a stroke call?
Yeah, no, guys, in here. Sorry, in here.
This is Daddy. Sometime between 7:30 and 10:30, she's developed a right-sided weakness and, according to daughter, slurred speech.
And she's got dementia in the past.
Dementia.
She lives at home alone.
Yeah.
How much can she normally do herself?
She's normally quite independent. She can chat away, she can drink using both hands.
You all right, Betty?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, sorry. It's all right. Betty. Hello there. I'm Dr. Patel. Betty, you know you see your arm? Can you stop it from doing this?
Doing what?
This.
Oh. Oh.
Are you in pain? No pain. Betty?
Hello.
There you go. Do you recognise this lady here?
Mum.
It's your daughter?
Hello. All right, darling. You've got a shaky hand, haven't you? That one's absolutely perfect, but this one has got a bit of a wobble on, hasn't it? Oh, dear. Yes, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. I am an only child, which I've never really inquired about. However, in hindsight, her approach to pain might explain quite a lot.
Oh, sorry. That hurt, did it?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
My mother does not tolerate pain on any level and is very vocal in letting us know if she either is in any pain or any pain is likely on the horizon, which may explain, having done childbirth once, there was no way she was ever going to do it again. They're going to come and sort you out, help you out. Yes. Hopefully do it soon. Yes, yes, yes. She is the mistress of inappropriate statements. As a teenager, she would pass comments, very personal comments, about my friends in their earshot. Oh, yes! You have got a big bottom, haven't you? Mortifying. Mortifying. You're nice and warm anyway. You're toasty warm.
After ruling out a stroke, the doctors are investigating the cause of Betty's symptoms.
Betty, because you have this right-sided twitch, the doctors are querying that you may be having a seizure, so I'm just going to give you some medication that will help resolve them symptoms. Okay?
Fine. All right then, hold on a second. When I'm in charge of resus, I'm responsible for all patients. Right. Do you want to... Even people that might not be having lots of interventions and lots of things going on, so actually all you need to do is when you're around their bed space, take a deep breath, go in, leave all that outside and just be calm. Hello, Betty.
Hello.
I'm Sally. How are you doing?
I'm all right, I think. I hope.
You look pretty good to me, I think. Sometimes it's just as important to give people that time just to be near someone else. I'd really like you to try to have another little drink for me.
For the time being.
Go on, try, Mum. Nice cup of tea with some sugar.
I don't think we always remember to do that, but I hope most of the time that we do. Is it all right if we just have a good look at you?
Not too much of a look, but have a look.
Not too much of a look.
My name's Anna, I'm a student. Now, she's a student, so don't scream. We don't want to put her off forever, do we?
I won't whistle under her breath or
Yeah,
anything like
just go, and keep it to yourself, because otherwise we'll frighten her. Did you scream when you were little?
Only little, I never little.
I know you used to scream when Dad was alive, because he used to come running, didn't he? He was very good. We have always had a good relationship, and I suppose we've always shared humour and say funny situations in most things, not least at my father's funeral, when his adoring siblings made a floral tribute saying brother. However, the R was cut off, so what it actually said was bother. She cried with laughter, but she couldn't let them see that because they wouldn't have understood. But it was very funny.
It
won't last too long. I distract you by asking you to stick this one underneath your tongue. Lovely.
Oh, thanks, darlings.
Bethany and I decided to make you dinner of mashed potato with sausages standing up in it with tomato sauce.
You actually did it before and you called it the Millennium Dome, didn't you, or whatever it was?
Yes, but this would have been your hand this time.
Oh, right, OK.
51-year-old minicab driver Mark has come to A&E with his partner Jane and stepdaughter Bethany. He's lacerated his finger picking up some broken glass from the road.
Yes. I had to move the
Bethany
car.
said it does look a little bit like a murder scene because you tried to wipe the blood off the door, so it's all smeared. Mark and I met almost 10 years ago via a mutual friend, and we've been together ever since, from our first date, which was my first date. I'd never been asked out on an actual date before. Mark came with flowers and you'd had the car valeted and stuff like that. And then we went to dinner. He was just a perfect gentleman. How are you feeling?
Yeah, a lot better, yeah.
Really?
You felt really, really off.
She said
your body.
I haven't touched him for a while. I just have a little touch.
I feel all right now.
Oh, it's nice. I'm going up there. That's nice and warm. I'd been on my own, just me and Bethany, for about, must have been 13 years, 12 or 13 years.
Actually, they're playing Brixton, I think. I think they're playing Brixton Academy.
Well, go. Go. Bethany, will you go with him, show him the ropes?
She wouldn't be into that. She wouldn't like that.
She would like it, certainly. Bethany's got tons of trance music. Trance concert. You have to go with your glow sticks. There wasn't a huge connection between them. They were fine together, but that definitely came when her father died. He had nothing to do with Bethany at all. He left just literally after Bethany's first birthday. She made the decision that she wanted to go to the funeral. As she said later, the first time she kind of felt like she got to meet her dad, who's being wheeled past in a coffin. It was quite traumatic for her. But Mark was brilliant. After the funeral, he thought it was important to have a bit of cheer-up time, so he decided to drive us to Littlehampton, where they have a sort of pleasure beach type thing. And he was on this sort of bicycle, and the idea of the bicycle you're on was to pedal as hard as you could to stay upright, otherwise you're upside down. So there was Mark pedalling hell for leather, red as a tomato, upside down. And Bethany said that night, she said, "Oh, he's brilliant." She said, I really love him for doing that. It was a really special thing.
Can I porter to resus 1, please? Yeah, so I'm going to move bed 6 into that bay so you can have both peds next to each other, because it just makes more sense. All right, so so don't panic. He's all right. Okay.
It's 3 hours since David fell 40 feet from a tree onto concrete. His older brother Martin and girlfriend Storm have arrived in resus.
Oh, sorry, I brought them in because they were desperate to see him. They're worried. You come.
Yeah, want to speak to him. He knows everything, so...
David has regained consciousness, but has minor fractures to his neck and pelvis.
We can take this off.
I think you've been quite lucky. You've got a little crack here.
Yeah.
Which probably... We got a bit of a cut as well.
Oh, David, do you have any chest pain?
No.
You were lying on your face, weren't you?
Apparently I was lying on my front. No, concrete.
Concrete.
You're quite lucky, weren't you?
Oh, yes.
When I rock climb, when I tree climb, it's the only time I feel awake and alive. Every day your mind wanders and you don't really feel like you're really in the moment and you're not really there. But when you're out there doing it and you're up a tree or you're up a rock somewhere, it's the only thing you're thinking about is how you feel, instead of be thinking about your worries about your future or worries about your past.
Is his mum here, did you say?
No, she died, but my dad
Oh, I'm so
might
sorry.
come.
I was only 4 years old, but I remember that day very well. I remember playing in the kitchen with my dad and my brother, and then the front doorbell rang. It must have been horrible for the policeman because I ran up to the door and opened it myself, 4 years old. All I remember is a policeman coming in with his hat by his side, and then everyone was crying. And I had no idea why everyone was crying. I didn't understand the situation. And I was just jumping around, trying to make everyone happy again, trying to make everyone smile, but I just couldn't. My mum was driving back from a fitness club somewhere, and she stopped at the petrol station to get some fuel. And she fueled up her car and then walked around in front of her car, and a drunk driver came in behind, hit her car and ran her over with her own car. About a year afterwards, I got a recurring nightmare, so I must have known why she had gone, because of the nightmare was a flower in an orchard, and then a big dumper truck coming and crushing it with its wheel. The feeling I got every time it happened was so intense and crazy that I just woke up crying. My mum was taken away from me so suddenly that I just want to live every day to its fullest And even if that means risking life, then I would do that.
What does A and E stand for? So,
Animal.
animal and
Health.
health. A and E.
Oh. Emergency.
That's brilliant. The second word is correct. But I don't see any animals in here, do you?
I'm so hungry.
It's water. You've had a big breakfast. Let's see if it kills you. And if it kills you, then I'll know you were really hungry.
Well, when you phoned me, you were quite high-pitched.
Minicab driver Mark, his partner Jane and stepdaughter Bethany are still in A&E waiting for Mark's cut finger to be examined.
You know, other than the obvious one, through your legs, you've never had any stitches, have you?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
Did you?
Yeah, in there.
It's a little strange coming into the hospital with this poor old Mark, because it would normally be the other way around.
That was when I was about 4.
A majority of my ill health stems from me having diabetes. Last year was a particularly horrible year. I ended up in hospital. I was in hospital for 8 weeks.
So sorry.
I very nearly didn't go back out.
Right, okay then.
I ended up in intensive care. The worst thought that I had about dying, it sounds really strange, and funny enough, it's something my mum said. My mum knew that she was dying, and she said, "But I'm going to miss you all so much." Now, of course, you're dead, so there's no, you're not going to be able to actually miss somebody. But yeah, that was it. I understood, being that potentially close to it, I understood exactly what she meant. It wasn't the fear of any pain of dying or anything like that. It was the fear of having all that taken away from you, the people.
Oh, darling, why are you crying? What's wrong?
Oh, darling.
What's wrong?
Be good to Mummy.
But why are you upset? What's wrong?
Betty is responding to treatment for a suspected seizure. She'll be admitted to a ward for observation.
Your head comfy. There. Is that all right? Oh, look, your shaking has stopped. That's good. You see, you can open it out a bit more when it stops shaking. You live to fight another day.
It's funny.
I don't. I only laugh because one minute you're screaming and next minute you're fit as a flea. My father died 15 years ago. So at 78, she put the house on the market on her own and then proceeded to say she'd like me to take her down to Seaford, where she decided she wanted to live. I drove her down to Seaford, and on that first trip, she found a bungalow and bought it. To go to an area where she knew nobody, it showed she had a strength of character I wasn't aware of. I think it was a gin that did it. What do you think? You're going to have a doze. I am very much the carer now, but I do respect that she thinks she cares for me.
Should we get you on a more comfy bed? Should we get you on a more comfy bed?
Yeah.
We'll do that, I think.
We do create an independent illusion. I think the hardest thing as you get older is giving that independence away. I think it's the cruelest thing. I like the way you're thinking. She often will say, I was just about to make that cup of tea, but now you're here, you can pop the kettle on. Why would I tell her the truth? Oh, there we go.
Thank you very much.
Lovely, innit?
She can probably dance, who knows? In Betty world, everything is possible.
I don't want to see blood coming out of me.
Yeah, I don't want to be... Oh, one bit much.
Can I squeeze this one really hard so you can't feel the pain over there?
I don't feel anything.
See? Nothing to worry about. I don't feel anything either.
You do very well.
Raw onion on the bottom of your feet takes away illness. Is that true? Huh? Raw onion on the bottom of your feet takes away illness.
Because all your nerve endings are in your feet.
Oh, imagine what your room smells like.
It's funny, isn't it? Because when it was only hurting a bit, once in a blue moon, you do the yelling bit, you know, the But when it become so constant, you learn to kind of live with it. So now it's rather than that.
Hi, it's Sally. I need a bed. Another trauma call coming in. I'm really sorry that it won't always be like this. It gives you a bird's eye view of the way it works here.
I was a bit like stunned.
It's just fighting fire.
Yeah.
It's just fighting fire. This job is the most stressful job I've ever done. It is, without doubt.
But airbag deployed, RTC, about 30-year-old plus.
So it's a trauma?
That's what I thought, yeah.
I mean, people at work laugh about me because I carry my pencil case. And I've got my pencils in it, I've got a bit of makeup, I've got a toothbrush in it for night shifts. And people laugh at me for that, but the main reason I carry that is when you cry at work as often as I do, you have to have some way of sorting yourself out. And then when you hand over to someone at the end of the day, you just shake it all off and go home. Adult trauma call 6 minutes.
Is it to prevent you banging your head against the wall? To prevent damage.
This man fell 40 feet out of his tree surgeon.
Oh, really?
He landed face first as well.
Doctors have found 2 fractures in David's neck and pelvis. They're also observing him because of his prolonged loss of consciousness at the scene.
I watched this thing last night about a cat that fell from the 75th floor of a building and survived.
It's me.
It's you.
I feel quite dizzy, actually.
I should think you would after falling 40 foot from a tree.
I feel quite dizzy.
Okay, I'll take some blood pressure off you.
You got any more water? Not overheating.
It is hot in here, though.
I was 4 years old, but my brother and sister, Martin and Nikki, were quite a bit older when my mum died. My sister was in her teens. She became the mother quite naturally, and she still would treat me as a son. My sister doesn't understand why I do what I do and thinks that any type of risk-taking is a terrible thing to do.
I just don't want you to be sick.
I've had friends who died rock climbing, but yet I still look at my sister's life and think, you could fall down the stairs tomorrow, someone could crash into your car. It's not gonna stop that just because you're not putting yourself out there. And I'd rather be out there living my life than trying to protect myself. My sister is very traditional. She wants to get old, have a family, have a dream job, have a house. That doesn't scare her, but that scares me in a way.
David is being admitted to a ward where he'll be closely monitored overnight.
So get her some water, get the bladder scanner.
Hello, Amy. Yes. St. George's, hiya.
Another adult priority call has come in. A 74-year-old woman is being rushed to hospital by ambulance with severe chest pains.
Patient refused to what?
She's asked paramedics to bring her to St. George's and nowhere else.
I'm frightened of hospitals. You'll be lucky to get me to any hospital, except St. George's. They were so kind to me about a year ago over the allergy I had in my eye. So I said to them, if I can't go to St. George's, I'm quite happy to stay at home.
Hello, is it Anne? Yeah. Hi Anne, my name's Sophie, I'm one of the doctors. It's nice to meet you. Hi.
Pleased to meet you.
Okay, so you developed this sudden pain in your chest, and it was a sharp pain.
Yeah, it comes and goes.
Just sit forward for me. Deep breath.
Doctors want to x-ray Anne's chest to find out what's causing the pain.
Breath in for me. Hold. Breathe normally.
Hi, my name's Tim. I'm one of the nurses. How are you feeling? It's coming back now. 2 seconds.
Can you be honest with me?
Of course I can.
If there's anything wrong, tell me.
If there's anything
wrong?
Oh, right, yeah.
Tell me.
We will keep you informed all the time about everything.
Can I tell you what I'm so fussy about being told? The things that were done to you years ago.
Yeah, it's a bit different.
It was horrendous, and you didn't know anything. My mother was a single mother, and my father, who I've never met or never seen, paid for me to go to boarding school. I was 3, a convent. I never got in trouble with the law, but I was a rebel, you know. This is what I've been told, and I got expelled for that. They put me away in a local asylum. I was in the asylum from the age of 11 till 41. I've had every diagnosis under the sun. They said I had schizophrenia, personality disorder. You know, I've never heard a voice in my life. And they made me like a zombie.
I'm gonna turn down the blood pressure cuff a little bit, as in, I don't think it needs to go off every 15 minutes now. We can put it down, because it can hurt a little bit, can't it, when it goes up?
It does hurt.
Yeah, let me take that off a little bit.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
People are so kind here.
It's a good hospital, St. George's. That's where you want to be. That's where you want to be.
I hadn't told you that I spent nearly 30 years in a mental hospital.
No. Must have been really, really tough. Really tough.
I was 11 when I went
Really?
there.
It's a young age to go, isn't it?
All my teenage years, never went to school.
No. Wow.
I've always been scared of male nurses because of what they did to me in the asylum and knocked me about. Sometimes I used to be black and blue. I was very frightened, because I kept on thinking, what will happen to me? What will happen to me? I used to smash all the windows to get out. I just wanted to get my freedom.
So what did they say about your finger? I didn't really hear him, really, that much. He said a lot of things really quickly. He was like, oh yeah, that's probably gonna need it. And then I missed that bit.
After cutting his finger on broken glass, Mark is waiting in reception to be examined.
Mark.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Do you want me to come through?
No, you're all right. You're all right.
Do you want me to come through?
Okay.
Do you want me to come through?
Can do, yeah, if you want to, yeah. Yeah.
I'll go through with him.
Well, I want to come. Since my illness, I feel my future is so much more positive. I'd love to regain a bit of independence. That would be the nicest thing. I'm really hoping to have huge improvements. I mean, the weight's already going the right way. Do you know how to go through into there? They're just taking my husband. I've lost 14 stone. So very dramatic weight loss. I'm still 16 stone, still got a long way to go, but I'm almost half what I was.
Began to sort of feel as if I was going to pass out.
Okay.
I went very, very cold.
I have ambitions. I mean, they're not huge ambitions to a lot of people, but to me, just to get back into the human race. You know, there's been so much of my life where I either haven't had the confidence or the fitness to join in with things. So you opt out of doing a lot of things. So I want to start opting in.
Yeah.
Hi, is Mark in here? I was just told to find him here.
Hello.
Sorry, thank you. You all went way too quick for me. Thank you, love.
If you're the one that sees him go off to CT, then just quickly scribble the time down. I love having students. I just love them coming in wide-eyed and, you know, innocent, and the first time they see anything, and then you see them go home at the end of the shift and they've just got a bit of a spring in their step. And I remember what that was like, how it's removed a lot of the mystery for them. It's what was done for me, so I hope to do it for them. Right, I'll get that out and we'll give them some pain relief.
It's there again.
There again. Does it stay there, or does it read? Does it go anywhere else? Just there.
Just there.
Yeah.
Just there.
And test results have ruled out a heart attack. Doctors suspect her chest pains have been caused by an acute digestive condition.
We've got some Gaviscon for you by here. So it may be worth giving it a little drink and seeing whether or not that helps with the pain.
Do you think that's what it is?
Well, it could help. I would definitely give it a quick shot, sort of like Sambuca or Tequila. Got about 20 mils in there. Perfect.
Yeah.
No worries. Thank you.
I came out of the asylum March the 8th, 82. I never forget my first night in my flat. Oh, it was like heaven. To think I was free, I could do as I want. I value my independence. It's up to me and him and me. I'm in control of my life.
And you're managing okay by yourself?
Yeah, but I've got a soulmate that lives next door, John, and he's absolutely fantastic. I met my first real friend when I was 45.
Hi, is that John? Yeah, nothing to worry about at all. I'm sure she'll fill you in later on when you get home.
John, I don't know what I'd do without him.
No worries, take care.
Tucks me into bed and he kisses me goodnight and he says, "What time do you want calling in the morning?" And I say, 6:30. But I have got exams now. I've got my day skipper's sailing.
Yeah.
I got that when I was 70. Got my computer. I know what it is to be lonely, but not now. I've got lots of friends everywhere.
You're probably more teched up than me.
You know, I'm making up for lost time. And I'm very, very happy.
She has realised she's at the end of her life. She's not worried, she's not afraid.
When people tell me how lucky I am and actually think about it, it's actually miraculous that I can fall from that height and be in one piece. I'd rather die tomorrow falling off a rock face than die growing old.
There's absolutely no point whatsoever in dwelling on the past or how miserable it's been or how happy. You know, it's past. It's what you're going to do in the future. I think next year has got to be our year.